Hey, good morning. It is 9:31 and it is cold outside. Good morning. I'm Chuck Lofton. Welcome, WTHR Facebook fans. We're going to go over some weather and some traffic with you during the next few minutes. I got to tell you, this is a brutal day. We are at 8 below zero still in Indianapolis, where there's a winter storm warning until 7 o'clock. This is a live look in South Bend. Look at that blowing snow on the Notre Dame campus. There is a blizzard warning there, and it is 7 below zero. Now, even though these are very cold air temperatures, and they certainly are, the wind chill is even more brutal. You'll notice now it's cloudy. It is cold in downtown Indy. We got about 1.5 inches of snow on the ground. Some of you have more than that, but generally 1 to 2 to maybe 3 inches in spots. This is a live look at Carmel at Carter Green. That's the Christkindl Mart that looks very much like Austria, doesn't it? It is so cold and snowy there. We are entering our 16th hour where the wind chill has been at or colder than 30 below zero. Now, let me put that into perspective for you. January 2nd, 2018, this is according to our friends at the National Weather Service, Jason Puma and the boys out there. The low was minus 12. The wind chill was 30 below zero. In the last 20 years, we have averaged 1.5 hours a year, the entire year, where the wind chill was 30 degrees below zero or colder. We now entering the 15th hour in a row. That is highly unusual, and our wind chills have been running between minus 25 and minus 40 today. The winds have everything to do with it. Right now, the gusts at Indianapolis International, 40 miles per hour, at Muncie, 38, at Kokomo, 39. That will just freeze you. And currently, with the 8 degree below zero temperature, 9 below zero in Greencastle, 7 below in Muncie. Here are the current wind chills. So it feels like 35 below zero in Indy. Folks, it feels like 36 degrees below zero in Kokomo. This is just really, I won't say totally unprecedented, but this is very rare that we would have a day like this. And, you know, we've had the cold temperatures before, much colder than what we are now, but it's that wind chill that is so persistent. So look at where we stand around the Midwest. We're as cold as anybody with this 35 degree below zero wind chill. Now, as we go into the afternoon, yes, travel will be tough. The roads are going to continue to be slick. There's no melting here. It's cloudy. It's cold. Sustained winds out of the west at 30 miles per hour at 4 p.m. today. Our wind chill about 25, 30 below, and the high today, the high is 1 degree above zero. Now, that jet stream, that river bear separating the warm and cold, this Arctic flow, we used to call this back in the day the Siberian Express. Comes out of Siberia, Arctic Circle, dives through here, blasts some snow, but in back of that snow, it's always cold. So today and then into Christmas Day, that cold air will flourish. It's going to be well below zero, well below average, over 60% of the U.S. For Christmas. And of course, we're going to hear from Kelly in just a moment, but these are the areas affected by the weather. If you're traveling, I know many of you are driving today, please be careful. Take it easy out there today. It does get better in this long-range forecast, but just a little bit. 11 tomorrow, 13 for a high on Christmas Day with the wind chills between 0 and 10 below. Next week, we get rid of all of this stuff. The 30s by Tuesday, the 40s by Wednesday, and Kelly, 50 degrees by Thursday, which is 58 degrees warmer. Yoo-hoo is right. 58 degrees warmer than where we are right now. But, you know, traffic is such a big deal. How are we doing out there?
You know, actually not too bad this morning. You know, we've seen a few slide-offs here and there, but considering the high winds that we've had out of the west, we haven't had really terrible accidents out there, but we have had some slide-offs here and there, especially on those north and southbound travel lanes. But we have some impacts with the blowing snow. We certainly have snow-covered roads all across central Indiana. The impacts right now are limited according to this mapping, but we do know that all across the area we do have those roads that are still snow-covered with that layer of ice underneath. And we'll head over to I-465 and I-865 on the city's northwest side. It certainly looks looks a bit like that visibility has fallen, but travel lanes, both those northbound and southbound travel lanes, are pretty clear, even onto the ramp systems there as well. And taking a look at the I-69 camera, this is down by Myra Lane, State Road 37 area. That definitely looks a lot more treacherous because obviously not as much travel on that road, and the more cars that we have traveling, that makes the roads a little bit better. But nonetheless, take it easy out there. We know that we've had most of our staff stay the night last night, so they could get here this morning, as well as the rest of the crew for the rest of the day today. However, Trevor, one of our digital guys, he came in from Avon. He said he was 20 miles an hour the whole way.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I totally believe that. And want to thank those of you who are watching and are writing in. Tina says, I wonder if I can even get in my 97 Olds. And I sure
97 Olds?
Yeah,
hey,
wow.
I applaud her for being able to keep that sucker alive.
That's a 25-year-old car, and well, it was alive. I don't know after today. Right. I mean, that's pretty rough on a battery.
Right.
She wanted the 3 to 6 inches. Frida Yates says, my car will stay in the garage. And that's a good idea. In fact, if you don't have to be out, don't. But again, you know, this is the time of year when so many people are traveling, Kelly, and you just have to be careful.
And, you know, we have church services going on for Saturday and Sunday, Christmas Eve services, midnight services. So it's going to be brutally cold no matter what the conditions of the roads are, and there could be some church services that are canceled, so make sure you check in with your church to make sure it hasn't been canceled. You don't make that special trip.
Yeah, and we already have, like, if you turn over to WTHR later today, we already have some services for Christmas Eve that have been canceled by churches, and they're at the bottom. They'll be scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Let's talk real quickly about pipes in your homes. I asked my wife before I left today, and she did it, to open up those cabinets by your sink, because this is the type of weather where these pipes will burst. If you want to, you know, dribble a little water, that's a good idea, too.
That's always a good idea.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done that. I forgot to do that last night before I left.
Well, hopefully you're fine.
Fingers crossed. That is definitely not something fun to have, especially when it's this cold.
Last check, we had 1,700 power outages, AES, Indiana, Duke Energy. One of the problems with that is that a lot of these power outages were in apartment complexes. So that counts as one. Right. But there may be, you know, hundreds of people living there, and that's a lot of people without power.
Right, and we know the low this morning so far has been 9 below zero. That's likely going to have bottomed out right now for this morning. Could be even colder tonight.
Yes.
Possibly, but likely that was the low for the day. We also know the coldest wind chill value was 39 below zero. That was for Indianapolis.
Yeah, for Indianapolis. For Kokomo, it was 45 below, and that was at 4 o'clock this morning. So it has been a brutal, brutal day. Want to remind you that we have at 10 o'clock, we have a live update over on WTHR. You get to go, get out of here. Warm the car up for you. Want me to do it for you?
No, I'll do it
it for you. I've got 20 minutes.
He's the best.
But we hope you have a Merry Christmas. Throughout the day, Sean, Angela will be with you over the weekend. Lindsay will be here tomorrow morning. So we really want you. Chelsea's going to be on at noon today. So we've got you covered, but you need to cover yourself by being safe. If you don't have to go outside, really don't. This is dangerous weather. Kelly Green, Chuck Lofton, thanks for joining us on Facebook Live. We are live on WTHR in 20 minutes. See you then.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.